starting with name of Allah, who is the most merciful and the most beneficent. New York City, celebrated across the world as the land of opportunity, the gateway to dreams, and the symbol of resilience, has a history that is both inspiring and controversial, filled with triumphs and struggles that shaped not only the city itself but also the world's perception of modern urban life. Behind the bright lights and towering skyscrapers lies a story of colonization, immigration, inequality, cultural resistance, and modern challenges, all woven together into a narrative that continues to influence millions of people today. From its colonial beginnings to its modern debates over diversity and gentrification, New York's journey is one of transformation, persistence, and reinvention. The story begins in 1624, when Dutch settlers established New Amsterdam, a small trading post built on commerce and opportunity. The Dutch West India Company saw the location as strategically important for trade, and the settlement grew quickly. But in 1664, the English seized control and renamed it New York after the Duke of York, setting the stage for centuries of political and economic power struggles. This early chapter reveals how colonization displaced indigenous peoples, particularly the Lenape, whose voices were often erased from mainstream history, and how the foundations of the city were built on contested ground. The colonial period was marked by tension between European powers, trade ambitions, and the realities of indigenous displacement, and this complexity is often overlooked in simplified versions of New York's origin story. By the late 19th and early 20th centuries, millions of immigrants arrived through Ellis Island, with the Statue of Liberty standing as a beacon of hope. For many, Lady Liberty symbolized freedom and opportunity, but the reality was often harsher than the dream. Crowded tenements in neighborhoods like the Lower East Side became home to families struggling to survive. Discrimination was widespread, and difficult jobs in factories defined the lives of many newcomers. Between 1892 and 1954, Ellis Island processed over 12 million immigrants, making it one of the most significant entry points in American history. The Statue of Liberty, dedicated in 1886, stood as a beacon of freedom, yet many newcomers faced poverty, racism, and exploitation. New York became both a melting pot and a place of inequality, where dreams were pursued but often at great personal cost. The immigrant experience was diverse. Irish, Italian, Jewish, German, and later Asian and Latin American communities all contributed to the city's identity, but they also faced prejudice and systemic barriers. This duality of hope and hardship is one of the most controversial yet universal aspects of New York's history. As the 20th century began, New York grew into an industrial powerhouse. Skyscrapers rose, Wall Street thrived, and the city became the financial capital of the world. The construction of landmarks like the Empire State Building and the Chrysler Building symbolized ambition and progress. But while the wealthy prospered, working-class families struggled. Sweatshops demanded long hours in unsafe conditions, and child labor was common. The Triangle Shirtwaist Factory fire in 1911, which killed 146 workers, exposed the dangers of industrial labor and highlighted the widening gap between rich and poor. Progress came at a heavy cost, and the tragedy sparked labor reforms and safety regulations, showing how controversy and struggle often drive change. The industrial boom also attracted waves of migrants from within the United States, including African Americans moving north during the Great Migration, seeking better opportunities and escaping the Jim Crow South. Yet even in New York, racism and inequality persisted. In the 1920s, Harlem became the center of a cultural revolution known as the Harlem Renaissance. This movement gave voice to African American writers, poetry, and literature, flourishing as a way to challenge racism and reshape American culture. This movement gave voice to African American writers, poetry, and literature, flourishing as a way to challenge racism and reshape American culture. Figures like Langston Hughes, Zora Neale Hurston, and Duke Ellington became icons of this era. The Harlem Renaissance was more than art, it was resistance, a declaration of identity and dignity in the face of systemic oppression. Yet systemic racism persisted, limiting opportunities even as creativity transformed the cultural landscape. The cultural contributions of Harlem reverberated far beyond New York, influencing global art, music, and literature, and reminding us that resistance through creativity is a powerful force. Moving into the modern era, New York faced new controversies. Rising rents and gentrification pushed out longtime residents, particularly in neighborhoods like Brooklyn and Harlem, sparking debates about housing inequality and cultural displacement. Diversity remains a strength, but debates over inequality continue. The city is home to over 180 languages, making it one of the most diverse places on Earth. Yet this diversity is often accompanied by tension over resources, representation, and identity. By studying this history truthfully and ethically, we gain insights that help us navigate our own challenges, and by applying these lessons, we unlock our own untapped potential. The operating system and untapped potential are tools designed to help you do just that, providing structure, clarity, and growth in your journey. Check the link in the bio to explore them, and remember, history inspires, but the future is yours to create. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the hidden side of New York's history. If you enjoyed this video and want to explore more stories, tips, and resources, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, Workflow Wonders by Fayzan. You'll find helpful links in the description, including my digital products designed to help you grow and unlock your potential. And I'd love to hear your thoughts. Share your reflections or questions in the comments below. History inspires.